Hello, welcome to the Parenting Program Show. I am your host, Jeremy, the Kung Fu Guy. I am a force of nature, married to another force of nature. Her name is Autumn, and we have two amazing, explosive balls of energy called kids. I am a speaker, teacher, author, catalyst, and Kung Fu master, here to help you empower your kids to speak up and own their voice. We're going to unlock and remove the chains of childhood that seem to hold us from our destiny with the tools to have inner strength, confidence to speak up, be heard, and be understood. Let's go play. Game on, yo. Hello, Parenting Nation. Welcome to the Parenting Program Podcast Show thing, because we're going to do it. And who is this lovely lady? This is the love of my life. This is Autumn. You've heard me talk about her, and today she is on the podcast with us. We're going to do a back and forth. We're going to talk about something really important today. Today we're going to talk about secrets. How to have a strong relationship to set your kids up for a foundation of success. So you're going to want to listen because we're covering some really important topics. We've got some great stories. We've got some fantastic tips. And of course, the incomparable force of nature, Miss Autumn.
Well, with an introduction like that, I don't know what else to say other than it's a joy to be your wife and to go through this thing called marriage and parenthood and
Today
it's good.
Today it's good. Right, let's be honest.
But I think we got 5 tips?
Yeah, we've got 5 tips
and secrets.
Yep, 5 secrets, and then we're going to cover some how do you do that, some stories, and then we're going to talk about some things went well and things that didn't go so well. And just because I haven't had a chance to introduce her, I did want to say, we met literally, I walked into her life, she was working in her family business, and I walked into the store, and she was like, I think I know you, because I had met her actually in 2010. I was the guy at this women's conference. I was the guy on the poster.
One guy.
The guy on the
guy.
poster. Not a guy, though. But I met her, she was in the trade show area, and one of the strategies I went through, and I took pictures of everybody at all of the booths, because it was a local business thing, and then I reached out to all of them on Facebook, posted the photos, made friend requests, tagged their business, did a little bit of promotion for them inside my thing, and that's kind of how I met her. And she was in another relationship, and she actually had a child with that other relationship. So, and I had my head up my airbag because I had gotten out of a relationship, and I wasn't looking for anything. Thought she was cute, and then, So 3 years later, I literally walk in the store. We play this game of 20 questions.
We keep it interesting, that's for sure. And then now here we are, 6 years later. So, in theory, we've known each other, 10 years?
Something, officially 9 years.
9 years,
yeah.
Married for 6.
Yeah, but the fun part is married in 6 months.
Yeah.
Literally walked in her life in June. By December, we were married.
Yeah.
How you do it when the time is right and you find the right person.
It's true. When you know, you know.
But how do you know that you know?
I look back at my single days and I love them, but I also love being married too.
Well, I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's get into the tips on how you can empower yourself, your relationship, and you can raise some amazing kids. Because let's be honest, parents, if we don't have a solid foundation as parents, as leaders, if we're unsure of ourselves or our relationship, what are the kids going to pick up on, right? Because they're always paying attention, they're always noticing. And if we're not solid, it's really hard for the kids to feel solid.
And it's also hard for you as a parent to set your kids up for success. So that's another reason why it's so important.
Absolutely. And so we're going to start with number 1. We need to have great communication and honesty with our partner. Good, bad, or sideways. We got to be able to lay it out there and say what's going on.
And so it's always easier said than done, I think. But I think we want to tell you guys a story of maybe where it wasn't so easy. And there's so many different stories because we're only human and we're only in this relationship together. But after each fight or disagreement or whatever we're doing, we still choose to be in love and to be honest and to be open and to just love each other through thick and thin, just like you do your kids.
Right, and this is important because if I'm not honest with her, she's not honest with me, then how can she be an ally in whatever it is I'm dealing with, right? If I'm keeping stuff back and I'm struggling with something and she knows something's bothering me and she asks what's going on and I don't feel like I can tell her, then she doesn't become an ally, she becomes an enemy. She becomes a threat. And that's definitely not a healthy place to be for either of us.
So I think that it comes from you both on either side when you are having this open and honest communication. It's staying out of the judgment zone. So no matter what he says, no matter what I say, we're both not taking it personally. It just almost is what it is, right?
Yeah, that was actually an early phrase when we started dating, is it is what it is. And I was like, I say that. She's like, but I've always said that. I'm like, but I'm older than you, so I owned it first.
Well.
So yeah, you've got to be able to just say what it is. And a lot of people, I think, the best exercise they get is jumping to conclusion.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to stop that ish.
Yeah, and I think also when we are having any sort of a disagreement, Jeremy always asks me, am I in problem-solving mode or am I in listening mode? And those are two totally different things, especially if I'm venting or if he's venting just about anything in life. Like, is it, okay, you're coming to me to solve a problem, or are you coming to me
just to unload?
Just to unload, right. Just to download.
Yeah, because I'll show up differently or she'll show up differently depending on which mode. And if your partner can't tell you which mode, which one do you think you're in?
Yeah, so even before we start, like, I just remember, like, all the time, it happens all the time, like, I'll be venting about something, and he's like, babe, is this a problem-solving mode, or is this a listening mode? Because I need to know. It's
yeah,
like,
I'll be at that point where I'm like, oh, okay, here's what you need to do, and I'm like, wait, she didn't ask me for that. But I'm having a really hard time not saying anything, and I'm having a really hard time just, can I offer some coaching? Can I please?
Right, and it's also focusing on the we instead of the me.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, even when we're having these conversations.
Yeah, we both take ownership of our-ish. It's not your, not mine. Okay?
And go ahead.
Okay.
Well, I was supposed to say, also, when we are having these fights, or whatever they are, disagreements, whatever.
Conversation.
Just always think about the long term, because sometimes we have dumb fights. Just, like, dumb. Like, they're so, like, first world problems, okay? Like wanting to change the baby's
Oh
diaper.
my lord.
That is such a great example.
Oh my lord.
Okay, so after Evie came home, this was like a while ago, okay? Let's just be honest. But our baby came home and I was doing everything. I was cooking, I was cleaning, I was taking care of the baby, I was doing like super mom extreme. About 8 or 9 days in, I'm like toasted. And at one point, I'm like literally yelling at him because I'm so tired, I'm so exhausted, I'm so whatever.
And I'm changing the baby's diaper. But that's not enough.
And I was like, all I want from you is to want to change the diaper. I just want you to want it.
And I was like, babe, I'm changing a diaper that is disgusting. I've got ish under my fingernails. I am never, ever going to want to have crap under my fingernail, mine or anybody else's. But here I am. I am changing this diaper because she matters to me. I wanted to be a dad since I was 9. I am in it to win it. And I'm changing the diapers.
Yeah.
But I'm never going to want to change. I want to change them, but I don't want to change them.
And I just remember, like, we were both, like, kind of at each other's throats a little bit because lack of sleep.
Yep.
Like, I'm looking like a hot mess, like,
yeah, well,
post-baby, okay?
Evie also came home on oxygen, so that's fun. And
Right.
It's been 13, 14 weeks.
It was a very high-stress situation.
Yeah.
And it was very much one of those things where it could have totally went the other way.
Oh, yeah. And after I kind of was like, I'm never going to want to, we both just started laughing. Because
Right.
it was just the ridiculousness of the statement.
And, like, keep in mind, I'm, like, crying and screaming about this, okay? Like, tears and then just laughing because I know it's just so ridiculous.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So how do we do that? What are the tips? How do you have clear communication? Because it's not enough to say, hey, you need it, but how do you do it? So number one, you both have to speak without judgment. We both have to not jump to conclusions. We've already told you that one. Number two, you have to ask if you're in question mode. Am I in problem-solving mode or am I in listening mode? I gotta get that clarity. Number three, like she said, focus on the we instead of the me. And then number four, think about the long term, not the immediate future or the immediate moment. Okay? So those are going to be our top 4 tips on just getting clear communication with your partner. And you know, even when it's a hard conversation, and we can share the one that was a good conversation we had, dealing with finances, because I came into the relationship a little bit different financial situation than she did. And at one point we had kind of a come to Jesus moment on finances, and I was terrified because if if she made me wrong for this, I was so vulnerable and I was so exposed. I got no coverage. I'm terrified because if she gives me pain for this, it's gonna kill me. I mean, not literally, but metaphorically. That's what it felt like. I felt so scared and so exposed, and she saw the scared little boy in me, and she loved me through that moment, and it was really a very powerful moment in our relationship, honestly.
Because I also think, like, when it specifically comes to finances and money and, like, providing for the family, that really hits on, like, the whole masculine dynamic. So, I mean, I already know inside that you're feeling bad about it. The last thing that I should do is just give you more pain for it.
Right.
So.
Now, in a self-defense situation, you should always kick people when they're down because they're that much closer to the foot. But in emotional situations with someone you care about, you don't kick them when they're down.
Yeah.
Yeah, loving them through the moment will get you such a bigger response.
Yeah. So, next tip.
Number 2. Do you want to give this one?
Show your kids the behavior that you want to see. Is that right?
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Excellent.
Yeah. So we need to model not only the behaviors we want from them, but the behaviors we want for them, right? So if I'm constantly talking over Autumn or she's talking over me, then it's going to be natural for our kids to talk over us because that's what we modeled. If we pause and say, hold on a second, Mommy has the floor. Okay, pause. Edie has the floor. Okay, pause. Jamie has the floor. If we do that, we're training each other to kind of pause and give each other the other person the spotlight, give them the communication. It's going to be huge.
Yeah, but not only that, like, not just, like, the respectful behavior, but also the fun and playful side of parenting and being in a relationship with somebody, because marriage is a lifetime business.
It's a commitment.
It's for, like, I don't want to say, like, forever, but marriage is a very long time.
If you do it right.
That's true.
And then you make it fun, which is now you're doing it great.
Right. So, showing your kids the way that somebody should be loved. I mean, especially, like, in a relationship. So, it's healthy to have PDA, so public displays of affection, to be kissing, you know, hugging, holding hands. But then it's also good for our children to see us have disagreements and have fights and things like that.
Yeah, when Mom's upset, Evie knows, Mom, take a deep breath. Because every time Evie bumps herself, bruises herself, whatever, it's always Evie, take a deep breath, first step. And so now at 5, but at 4, she's interrupting our patterns to help us calm down, to help us breathe. So we're teaching our kids strategies to help them be more successful in life.
I think it's so funny. Sometimes when we get into disagreements, we'll even just be like play fighting, like just being absolutely ridiculous. But she'll say, "You guys are still married."
She's like, "You love each other.
You're still married.
We still love you."
Oh my gosh, she's crazy.
She's so funny.
But
the other part of it too is there's a meme I saw come through that I thought was really good, which is it's not my job as a dad to teach my daughter how to be a lady or how to be a woman. It's my job to teach her how she should be treated. Respectful, considerate, you know, her points of view, her boundaries. As a masculine person in her life, helping her to understand how that should show up for her, I think is a really important responsibility. And
right.
So, same deal, you know, I open the door for Autumn when she gets in the car. And I try to do my best to open the door for, like, everyone getting in the car. And that's not I only do it for women thing. It's whoever I'm escorting, their safety is my consideration.
Right, it's a priority.
Right.
Right. And so I think as we're talking about, you know, like showing the behavior that we want from our kids, it kind of goes into the third tip. And that's simply not losing yourself in your relationship or losing yourself in parenthood. Because that's very easy. It's very easy for the kids to get, like, in the middle.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, people put on their roles. They put on their identity. Oh, I'm a parent, I'm a dad, I'm a mom. And they forget, but I'm also a husband, I'm also a wife, I'm also a son or a daughter. They forget the other relationships, and that primary, you're a parent, kind of obscures everything else. And so it's important. You've got to make your relationship a priority, and you've got to make yourself a priority so that you don't get lost in oh yeah, I used to do that before I had kids, but now...
Oh my gosh, that's the worst.
Yeah.
Nothing is worse than, like, looking back and being like, oh, I had such a great life before kids.
Right.
You know, and then it's just a matter of, like, having kids almost enhance the life that you already have.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Well, it's also shifting your priorities and realizing, okay, you know, Evie's 5, she's more self-sufficient, she's more stable, she can do more stuff. Great, we can go back to doing some things that we used to do. Like, we haven't gone rock climbing in forever. Well, Evie's old enough, she can start to go bouldering with us. So let's introduce her to something we actually enjoy doing that's a little bit more active. It's hard to do that carrying an oxygen tank, or you have somebody who's not so coordinated and trips on her own feet, or her brother when he was younger would walk into banisters and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, so they're more capable, then okay, let's get them out into that stuff.
Right. But it's also, like, I love including the kids in some stuff, but there's also times where it's just me and you, where it's just you and Evie, where it's just me and Jamie, where it's just, you know, like, it's, or even when it's just ourselves, like, it's our time. You know what I mean? Right,
absolutely. And it's important, too, that both of us have our own outside interests, if we have outside interests, right?
Yeah.
So Autumn likes to knit sometimes, and she was doing a group actually just down the street, and was knitting with them on Monday nights for a while, you know? Cool, go for it.
Right.
So it's how do we organize that? That's a priority. Please go, have fun. Because if she's excited and has something outside the relationship or outside of our family to go experience, she has new stuff to share. And so she feels like she's growing. And we get to see a different side of her when she's enthusiastic and excited about stuff.
No, it's not always easy. Like, I'm not by any means perfect in this, and I think that you helped me a lot with this. But, you know, when our foreign exchange students came into town, or when Jamie comes into town, or even when there's a special time with the kids, whether it's a birthday or Christmas or anything like that, like, it's so easy for me to just lose myself in setting everyone else up for success, to the point where it's like 10 o'clock, I'm absolutely exhausted, I'm depleted, this is finally like my free time, because everybody's asleep, everybody's taken away, squared away in their own little shelf or in their own little corner.
And all she wants to do is go to bed.
And all I want to do is go to bed. Like, I would love to watch Game of Thrones, but I am so tired, I can't keep my eyes open, and it bums me out. So then, like, I used to get into this mindset of, oh, well, it'll happen tomorrow. Oh, well, it'll happen tomorrow. You know what I mean? And it's so easy to not have a life.
Yeah, it just drags.
It's miserable.
One of the other challenges is our anniversary and her birthday are literally days after Christmas. So growing up, her birthday wasn't always a priority because retail business as a family, there's things that got to get done. There's priorities, deadlines before the end of the year. So making sure that we don't commingle Christmas and birthday and anniversary, they all need to be separate events.
Which is a family rule. Which kind of leads into
the next
tip.
Which is, when you guys realize there are points of friction and drama and headache and heartache, don't keep repeating the madness. You gotta stop the madness. And how are we gonna do that? We're gonna create a family rule. We do family meetings. And we're like, all right guys, everybody, we need a family meeting. Because there's something didn't go well. There's something we can learn or change. Let's get that organized. Let's not do this again.
Yeah. Sometimes it's as simple as we're not taking, 5, 6, 7 a.m. flights. Not even 9 a.m. flights. Like, I would rather have a 10 o'clock flight knowing that we're traveling with the kids.
Right.
Than
right. If it's just you and me, let's go get it.
Right. Something as simple as that. Or it could be something as simple as we're having a family meeting, we're going over the meal plan, we're going over the grocery list. Who needs what did we like, what foods did we not like? I noticed, like, hey, we're eating a lot of pasta, so our exchange students or, whoever wants to have more rice or potatoes or, it's not all about carbs.
Yeah, so like Sundays, what's our meal plan for the week? So we start talking about it on Friday night, Saturday, plan it out. Sunday we order the groceries, so we have a plan. But that's a family rule. And what happens when we violate our family rules? Drama and headache and stress.
Just things just start to slide. And it doesn't, it's not our family's identity. It's not the way that we want to run things. It's not the life that we want to live. And it's not the standard that we want to set.
Right.
So having these family rules, having family meetings, and all that jazz. And also, quick mom tip, because I did used to work in a grocery store. If you make your grocery lists, they change the sales at the grocery on Tuesdays. So that means if you want something on sale and you're starting to make that grocery list, start on Tuesday and make sure you just get the groceries by like Sunday, Monday, before the next shift of like prices and specials and sales and all that other stuff comes out. So.
And now that you're talking about scheduling, that leads us to our last tip, number 5, which is just have fun and focus on the magic moments, right? Every day brings its own challenges. Every day there's drama. Every day there's some reason to get into urgency and crisis mode if you choose. Or you can just have fun with it, right? One of the tips I always give people when they're setting goals is you add the phrase, and enjoy the process. Because when you enjoy the process of whatever, you're just a whole lot more fun, and it's more fun for everyone else.
And, you know, we do this whole magical moment show, like unshameless plug here, but...
Wednesdays, 8:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Facebook, be there live.
Right, we have this show where we actually do talk about our magical moments, but it's really cute because even when the camera isn't rolling or anything like that, whether it's like an average family meal, our daughter's like, what was your magic moment?
Yeah.
What was your favorite part?
Evie's asking those questions.
Yeah, and it's really cool to watch her focus on the positive of whatever happened that day. And it's just, I don't know, it's cool. Evie is just such a big ball of light of positive energy, and I just want to keep that forever.
Yeah, absolutely. We want to armor that without making her hard. And the same thing with Jamie when he's here. He does the same thing. He wants to talk about magic moments for the day and what went right and what can we celebrate, what can we applaud people for. And we actually will sometimes. We will applaud at the dinner table for people who did really awesome stuff because golf clap, right? Because it's important to recognize that stuff. If you don't celebrate it, who will, right? Give you guys a tip. In the best relationships, your joy is magnified, it's amplified, and your pain is minimized. In the worst relationships, your joy is minimized and your pain is amplified. So then, if that's true, which it is, then what can we do to even on purpose magnify the joy? How else can we amplify it? And we applaud for each other, we stand up, we take a bow or do a curtsy. Again, magic moments and have fun with it.
And it doesn't even have to be so formal or so serious as you're all sitting down at a table talking about the good times. It could be as simple as like having a celebration or doing like a family date day.
Yep, and in fact tonight we're going to take the family out for Mexican, and not everybody knows that yet, and that's cool because it's just going to throw everybody in the car. All right, guys, come on, we gotta go get Dad from the martial arts school. Let's go, guys, we gotta go. And then it's like, oh hey, because we're going to go to dinner. What?
Right. We're going to surprise the kids with dinner, with Mexican food. But sometimes family date day is like a trip to IKEA. It could be, you know, the rock climbing. It could be mini golfing.
Wait, we go to IKEA and not buy anything. Just walk around and look at stuff and imagine and visualize and set goals and then eat salmon because the salmon and meatballs is delicious.
Yeah, the meatballs and salmon is pretty
True story, Valentine's Day, our first Valentine's Day, it was snowing in Ohio on Valentine's Day and we were at IKEA. It was so cute.
Well, I think what had happened is we went to go get a couple things for the apartment, and then it started snowing, and then we just kind of took advantage of the situation.
Yeah, we stood over, you could see the snow falling over the highway.
It was really cute, too, because the people of IKEA, they, like, brought over flowers to the table, and, like they try to make it so cute for us weird people.
Yeah, it was all good. It was all good.
So.
Alright, so let's recap. What are the tips so that you can have a great relationship and set your kids on a solid foundation? Number 1, gotta have great communication and honesty with your partner. Number 2, show your kids the behaviors you want them to experience in their relationships, but also the behaviors you want to experience from them as well. Now, go ahead.
3, I was going to say, don't lose yourself in the relationship that you're in and in the parenthood that is 18 to life.
Wow, when you say it like that, it is an institution.
I know, right? And
Number 4, create family rules. Use those family meetings to just get on the same page and stop having the same pain.
And then 5, which is have fun and enjoy the magic moments that is your life.
Absolutely, and it's all about, for us, how do you empower your kids to speak up, own their voice, and how to create their own emotional safety. You've got to help provide it first, and then they can learn to create it as well. And I want to remind you that you have a right, you deserve to be happy, healthy, safe, wealthy, and wise, and to be loved and to be loving. And hope you guys enjoyed a little bit of time with me and Odd, and we'll do this again another time. You make it an outstanding day, and we will see you when we see you. I am Jeremy Roadruck. This is Autumn Roadruck. This is the Parenting Program Podcast Show thing.
And that's a wrap.
And that's it. Thank you for joining us. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Okay, we are living, recording, and true story. Boink. There's a cat right there. But yoink, the angle we're at, you would never know. You would never know.